Good morning, guys. We're on, day 146, I believe. Luckily, my back feels a lot better, so that's cool. I'll do a ride a little later on. Starting off the day kind of early. It's about 8:15. I've got to go down to CompUSA as soon as they open here, because last night I showed some funny stuff going on one of my hard drives, and I did a scan, and one of them is starting to go. And it happens to be part of one of my RAID 0 arrays, so I'm going to replace both drives in it. Just throw in a couple new 2 terabyte drives. Luckily, everything's backed up. I don't have any fear of hard drive failures, but it's a pain in the butt. No big deal though. Can't believe how cheap hard drives are getting. I've got a couple of Western Digital blacks in there, which are great for performance, but I have to say, the reliability of Western Digital in the last couple years, not exactly what it used to be. So I'm going to put in Seagate this time. I've been running another Seagate for the last year and a half or so. I've got a big 2 gig in there just for games and music and movie storage. And it's nice and quiet. They used to be a little loud. I could hear them ticking and whatnot, but they're all silent now. So I'll throw in a couple Barracudas and rebuild that. It's nothing critical. It's for my photos that are in the last year or two where I might still use them, not doing heavy developing on them, but I'll still be accessing them, exporting, might need to use them. They're not archived, so they're still active, and I still need them really fast for access, so that's why I put them on a RAID 0. I do all my active editing on SSD, and then for stuff that I'm not typically going to do anything with, they go to a separate archive drive, which is just a big, large single drive, and that's stuff that I don't care about accessing, lightning fast or anything. So, storage is cheap. I don't really throw too many pictures away. I used to, when I started out, delete stuff after a year. And I'd contact the clients and say, hey, if you want a digital copy of all your stuff here before I get rid of it, give the opportunity to buy a disc. Some would, some wouldn't, but I would find that every now and then I wish I had a copy of, a couple shots from a particular wedding, a couple years ago or whatever. So I just started saving stuff, just archiving it. Works for me. So anyway, after that, on the way home, I'm stopping at the grocery store because I'm going to do an epic recipe today. At least I'm going to try to. When I was out in Vegas, I ate at this Italian place in the Venetian. Oh my God, what was the name of it? Started with a V. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, awesome Italian food. Insanely expensive. I had like a cup of this seafood fettuccine. And it was just, normal looking fettuccine. But the cream sauce it came with, well, number one, it was real heavy cream. I mean, it was distilled. It was just a beautiful sauce. I'm going to try to recreate it more healthy, obviously not using heavy cream. But anyway, it was a salmon cream sauce. And I had never thought to do that before. It was just delicious. So I can do that. That's easy stuff. I've got to be able to recreate that somehow, so I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to pick up a couple big salmons, because while I'm doing salmon, I'm going to smoke them on the grill. Might as well do them right. So I'll get that going today. And then tonight I've got a big architectural shoot for Tampa Bay Magazine, and that starts at 6:30. And I'll be doing that till just about sunset, doing a interior of 2 buildings and an exterior of a really nice house. So that'll be the exterior will be right at sunset, and I'll take you guys with me. I'll try to remember to do some filming. I really get in the groove though, and don't think about doing these little update videos. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm gonna grab some breakfast real quick here and head on over to CompUSA, or Tiger Direct now. I really hate CompUSA/Tiger Direct. They were a crappy store before. They're even crappier now that they're Tiger Direct. But they are the only store left around that sells parts. Period. You used to be able to go to Best Buy and get most things, even Walmart. We had Radio Shack, we had Circuit City, we could even go to Office Depot and Staples. I don't even know where the nearest Staples is anymore. Office Depot doesn't sell anything. Best Buy carries maybe 5% of what they have on the website actually in the stores. Get all the way over here. Gave myself a little cushion, figuring they open at 9. Now, they changed their hours. Now, part of the week they open at 10. So I got to kill a half an hour. Whee! Fun. Okay, hard drives in hand. Now to get home, rebuild the array, and copy that data back over. I almost forgot to stop for groceries, but I did forget my grocery list, so I got to try to remember what I was going to get. Well, I got home and it's raining again. Oh well. It's not supposed to rain too hard all day, it's just a normal drizzle, but got my hard drives and my stuff for my new recipe. It's going to be really good. I think I need to start the hard drives first, get those cranking, because that data is going to take a while to come over from backup. And then I need to get the salmon smoking, because that's going to take about 2 hours. And I've got to leave here about 6 o'clock. It's 10:45 now, so I got some time, but got a lot of other stuff to do too. Let's go. So here's my current configuration. This is what I've been using for about the past 9 months or so, with the exception of these 2 new drives, the 1.8 terabytes that you see here. The OCZ is a SSD, and that's 256 gigs, so it gives you about 238 usable. Extremely fast drive. It was one of the fastest in the world when I got it. There's a couple that are slightly faster now, but still, it's really nice. And I put my operating system, all my applications on there, and it leaves me a good 120, 150 gigs, depending on what I'm doing, to work on stuff. So that's where I import my photos and work on videos and do rendering and whatnot, and it's exceptionally fast. And then after I'm done with a shoot, after I'm done editing a project, I move the stuff over to this, which will be a RAID array, which I'm going to create now. I used to have 2 1 terabyte drives. Now I've got 2 terabyte drives, so it'll give me a 4 terabyte RAID 0 array. And then the next drive down is Photo Archive, and that's just for storing files where I might need them in the future, but I'm probably not going to do anything with them, so I don't care if they're just on a single normal drive. It's not a RAID, so it's not quite as fast. And then the last 1 terabyte is where I keep games and music and really big bulky stuff that I don't want filling up the other drives and slowing them down. Because with the exception of the SSD, the mechanical hard drives get slower as you fill them up. So I like to keep them all as empty as possible, just for performance. So that's all my internal stuff. That's my SSD kind of hanging there because I'm out of bays, and they're feather light. It really doesn't matter what you do with them. I could Velcro it to the top or whatever, but it doesn't matter. And then down in the bottom, let me see if you can see that. I guess it's kind of dark. Anyway, those are all the mechanical drives. It's a great case, great motherboard. It's really nice for building large, complex systems. And I've got more room for expansion if I want. And then all of my backup is in my Drobo. And I've got 8 terabytes in there, so that gives me 6 terabytes of usable backup. So now I'm going to go ahead and create this array, get my data copying, and start my new recipe. Well, the salmon is on the smoker, and I got to get some gas because I'm just about out, and I got to go to the post office. Got a bunch of cigar contest winnings to get out to the winners. I was a little backlogged, and need to get those out. So, yep. Well, hasn't stopped raining. In fact, it's picked up quite a bit. This is the kind of rain that it's taking for the roof to leak. The drizzle that we had all day didn't do anything. So it leads me to believe that the leak in the roof might be higher up, where it takes more water for it to kind of flood up there to reach the crack. Because if it was down in the corner where I thought it was, anything would start coming through.
So, when it dries out eventually, I'm going to get up there and take a look. Anyway, no ride today, that is for sure. I just hope it dries up before my shoot. Got about 2 hours before I have to leave, but I'm thinking it's going to be a reschedule. We'll see. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow.